Well, hello there. My name is David. And if you haven't noticed, if you have watched my YouTube channel before but have not noticed, I don't seem to know what I'm doing at all here other than talking to myself in a dark room about my general malaise with life and then uploading it to YouTube for all of you fine folks to comment upon, which generally, most of you folks are quite polite and nice, and that is quite wonderful. But a few people are rather rude to me and tell me, how silly and boring and what a loser I am. And well, I suppose I can't disagree with you. I am quite boorish now, aren't I? And blathering about, prattling on about me general malaise in life. So, somehow, strangely enough, with this YouTube channel where I talk about me general malaise, I've reached over 1,000 subscribers now, and I thought to myself, well, that's quite strange. And thinking about this topic, I thought, well, a typical person would, once reaching milestones of these, they would come on YouTube and say thanks to folks for coming in and, commenting and watching and sort of commiserating in the experience of whatever this is. So I thought I would do the same and just extend a heartfelt thank you and my gratitude for coming to my YouTube channel and subscribing for whatever reason you might be doing that, listening to me rattle on in a dark room to myself. So, thank you for that. Really, I suppose I've just been sort of, heartbroken and lonely and exhausted, burnt out, really, with work. It was back in July, I thought to myself, well, I was frustrated. I thought, well, perhaps I will just make a video and further embarrass myself and upload it to YouTube for people to comment on. I mean, certainly sounds like a reasonable thing to do, doesn't it? And here we are, approximately, I think, 3.5 months later, and here I am, still prattling on about my general malaise with life and all of that. And then I thought to myself, what does having 1,000 subscribers mean to me? It seems significant to some degree, does it not? And really, I think it seems rather sort of, kind of weird that at any time, I myself, in reality, could be out in the yard, raking up leaves or engaging in car maintenance or, going to the store and shopping or doing any number of things, and here these videos, these digital shadows of myself exist on the internet, constantly yammering away with all of the things in life that I'm disillusioned about, and people commenting on them, and, typically leaving some sort of positive remark, but occasionally there is a rather dismissive and rude comment from folks as well. So, I don't know. At 45 years old, I find myself sort of beyond the point of typical embarrassment or anxiety, so it's sort of, originally I thought, well, it will be a therapy session of sorts where I could talk to myself and just kind of get everything off of my chest, and then, the general grand idea of why don't I share it on the internet and perhaps it can, contribute to greater conversation, or maybe someone will connect with it in some manner or some sort and have something interesting to say. So I don't know if I've accomplished any of that. It's just sort of me complaining and whining into the internet. So, I thought, well, perhaps one of two scenarios will really kind of happen. Either I'm just here on this YouTube channel talking to myself and no one will notice and it doesn't matter anyway. Or perhaps a number of people will show up and tell me how utterly moronic and illusory that I am in my view and lack of mindfulness, what have you. And there has been some degree of the latter taking place, I assure you. There's occasionally someone that pops in and says, "Why, you're quite boring, David. What are you even doing here? Delete all of these videos. Does anyone know how you're talking to yourself on the internet?" I think, well, yes, some people do know, and, none of it quite matters at all. If anyone knows or doesn't know, participates with me or not, life goes on no matter what you do. So there's always that. But, strangely enough, the vast majority of people have been rather kind and polite and had something kind of encouraging and, sort of a comment on shared commiseration in the struggles of life. So I guess there's something sort of encouraging about all of that. But, I don't want to rattle on too long. Try and keep this as short as possible. You might wonder, if you've looked at any of my previous videos, you might think, why is David speaking in such a strange accent today? He doesn't typically speak like this. Well, you see, I've received a number of comments on YouTube, an increasing number of comments on YouTube, commenting on how I seem to resemble Eeyore, or I am the human embodiment of Eeyore, the character from Winnie the Pooh. And I thought to myself, why, it's quite depressing, isn't it? I don't want to be Eeyore. So I thought, a simple thank you video might not be that interesting in and of itself, by itself. But perhaps I'll put a little spice on it, eh? Just a little spice with something of an English accent. I don't know if it's really an English accent, or I'm just trying my best, which frankly, my best is probably quite awful, but there you have it. This is for the purposes of telling you thank you for tuning in and subscribing and, telling me how boring and illusory I am. I appreciate those comments as well, because I like to think, perhaps that's an opportunity to thicken my own skin and, not take life too seriously, maybe. So there's that. And then I also don't want to come across as Eeyore, because who wants to be thought of as Eeyore? So you can't think of an Englishman as Eeyore, the embodiment of Eeyore, can you? So that's really it. Before this goes on too long, a moron prattling about to himself in a faux pseudo-English accent, I really just wanted to say thank you for tuning in and viewing my general malaise and disillusionment with life, and wish you a safe, prosperous journey in your own life. And, if I don't get hit by a bus or something, then I suppose I should be back again, in a dimly lit room, whining and complaining to myself about my general malaise and melancholy with life. And, probably I will be back. So, pip pip cheerio, and have yourself a fine day, ladies and gentlemen. Bye bye now.